Hello, this is Father Louis SCURTI, and this begins a series of interviews with classmates of mine. And today, my first guest is Fr Robert Schecker, who's from Brick, New Jersey. Bob, welcome.
Thanks, Lou.
This is the first time Bob and I have been interviewed together, and we were classmates at Seton Hall University and roommates. So this is going to be an informative and casual, and if Bob is true to form, hysterical interview, because it's wonderful being back. Now, we're hosted for our anniversary here at St. Aloysius Church in Caldwell, New Jersey. We're in the priest's rectory, and Father Monsignor Desmond, Mike Desmond, is our host, and he's also our classmate. So come on, and after this, you'll see our other interviews, and just check out our website under interviews. Okay.
All right.
Bob.
Yes.
What's the first memory you have of me?
First memory of you would be Boland Hall, second floor, you in your art developmental stage of green and purple colors. Everything in the room was green and purple.
It's true. Right. The bedspreads, the drapes.
Everything.
Remember the big painting?
Color coordinated.
Yes.
Everything was color coordinated with your purple and green stage.
Yeah. Actually, it was funny. I that was my purple and green stage. But years later, Ralph Lauren adapted those two colors, and everything was purple and green. And I said,
"You see how far in advance you were of your times?"
Do you remember the painting of St. Jude?
No.
The big painting of St. Jude.
Where did you?
Oh, who knows? It was on one of the walls.
Oh.
But purple and green.
Well, see, those things I'm trying to forget.
Okay, so tell me some of the. Okay, I want to let our guests know what it was like for young guys coming into divinity school, which was what the our role was there. That was our school, divinity school, preparing for theology, preparing for seminary. So what was that experience like, as you remember it?
Well, going in, it was a college experience, first of all. The second floor was kind of a loony bin with all of us, because we were the only religious-oriented people.
That's right.
On that whole floor. We had our own chapel. We had our own communal restroom.
Right.
Which always turned out to be a very interesting experience for some of the guys who didn't do their laundry. So we took their sheets and threw them in the shower stalls and washed them for them. Yeah, that kind of stuff was.
I remember that. I remember that. Oh God, yeah.
It was a piece of work. Yeah. Some of us are pieces of work.
So we weren't all holy rollers walking around.
Oh goodness, no, not at all.
But we were faithful people, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could speak for
and
yourself.
Prayerful.
And prayerful.
And prayerful.
Yeah. And we had a regular schedule of prayer, as I remember.
Right.
We had
Sometimes we referred to as the prayer wheel.
Yeah, right.
But that was later on when we got to the seminary.
Yeah, that was a little.
It was introed at Seton Hall.
Yeah, the seminary, I didn't really care for the seminary.
Well, I like the location. I mean,
Beautiful.
1,500-acre estate up in the mountains.
Yeah,
Ramsey.
that was great. Yeah.
Gorgeous place. What I do miss about that at this day and age is the quiet and the peacefulness.
Yes.
It was a very reflective place.
Yes.
But keeping in mind, back in the 60s, we had 250 guys.
Yeah.
So it was anything but quiet and peaceful.
But you had the opportunity to walk the grounds and enjoy.
You had to, if you recall, at 3 o'clock, mandatory, get out and get some fresh air, go for a walk, play ball.
You see, that's the kind of stuff I didn't like. I'm not.
Me too.
That kind of a structured kind of person.
But I'm not the kind of an athlete. So
forget that.
Jock, I'm not.
No, I
so
never
forget
played ball or anything like that.
But it's nice. I like walking around the grounds.
Yeah. And in summer, we had the swimming pool.
And we also had the upper lake.
Yes, which was beautiful.
Which I used to walk frequently with some of our classmates. And if you might recall, that was the dumping grounds for the flowers from the nearby Mary Rest Cemetery.
That's right.
So I would go and pick flowers out of the dump and take them to my room. Add a little color, a little life.
It's true.
Like surroundings that we were in. Yes.
Now we're speaking about what was Immaculate Conception Seminary in Darlington, New Jersey. It's Ramsey area, and the mountains, I guess they're called Ramapo Mountains, that were around us. And subsequently, after we left, the area was sold off, and it's now condos. But it was such a wonderful area for us. Do you remember the Tuesdays when the Dean of Students that was his day off? What would happen with my mother?
I was going to cite that story when we went through the woods to the Darlington Park to rendezvous with your mother, who came with this magnificent picnic basket and fed whoever the heck was there that day. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Another rule we broke.
Absolutely. You see, I was never oriented to be trained as a monk. I mean, monastic life is beautiful for monks, but it was as a monastic community they were trying to establish for us, and we weren't monks.
No, and apparently that mindset seems to be still in evidence.
You think?
Oh, in
In the
many
seminaries now,
seminaries,
yeah. Because when we came out, the world was there. I mean, the real world, and monastic living was not an option.
It's not, well, not applicable
No.
to parish life.
Exactly.
Or whatever ministries we were getting involved in.
Right. Your experience of parish life is talking about that. Maybe we'll talk about that in another episode with you.
Sure.
I'd rather still continue with our years at Seton Hall. What did you enjoy about Seton Hall?
The camaraderie,
Yes.
getting to know the guys.
Yes.
And having some fun with them, going to the places where we'd go to eat and or drink in South Orange.
Right.
Just to
That was beautiful.
socialize.
Yeah.
And,
And presently, Immaculate Conception Seminary is part of Seton Hall University in South Orange.
right.
That's where it's
I'm not
located.
familiar with that turf. I haven't been there
Oh, okay.
since I left
Oh.
seminary.
Yeah, it's an addition to the facilities there. And the
I just
buildings
think it
there.
has a little bit of a too hotelish kind of an atmosphere instead of the beautiful surroundings we had up in.
Absolutely,
Ramsey,
yeah.
It's a different setup.
So you enjoyed your being at Seton Hall?
Oh, yeah, for the 2 years. And
Let me explain that. We were in divinity school, 2 years of college, freshman and sophomore, and then junior and senior year of college were at the major seminary, which was Immaculate Conception. And then at the end of that, fourth year, you graduated at Seton Hall with a degree in whatever the degree we had, philosophy and theology and a whole bunch of other stuff.
classical languages.
Class,
We all
yeah.
got degrees in classical languages. Now, how necessary was that, I wonder, for parish life? In hindsight, 40-something years later.
What was the first parish you went to?
First one I went to was St. Charles Borromeo in Cinnaminson.
Okay.
Because
South
I
Jersey, yeah.
served in the Diocese of Trenton.
Right.
So I was there with Carl Wagner, who taught me a very nice lesson immediately, because our titles at the time were either you're the assistant pastor or the associate pastor.
Okay.
And Carl liked to remind me once in a while, well, whether you're called the assistant pastor or the associate pastor, the first three letters are the same. Okay.
Good. Great lesson. Great camaraderie building on
We hit
that.
it off fine. He
That's
was
great.
a delightful man and an effective pastor.
Yeah, I think that's important. When guys come out of the seminary, their first experience at a parish. Now, the first experience is not as a priest. You're a deacon. Sometimes you're serving there as a student. But that makes a big difference if the
Yes.
openness is there, because sometimes it seems like you're living in somebody else's home.
But he was an excellent mentor. And we
That's
shared
great.
the ministries of the parish instantly. And we had a housekeeper who was what I refer to as an old Irish Catholic matriarchal Spitfire.
Just use the first name if you can use names.
Her name, Alice.
Okay, don't use your last names.
And when I came into the house for the first time, I sat down in the kitchen. It was a three-story colonial. So I'm in the kitchen having a cup of tea with Alice, and she said to me, "And this is my kitchen."
Whoa.
And my response to Alice was, "Your kitchen is in my house." We hit it off very well from there.
Now, I could see you sitting down in the kitchen, having a cup of tea with the housekeeper. That's something like Pope Francis would do, and I think personality-wise, we are Pope Francis people. We would do what he is doing, picking up the kids and going to the nursing homes and sitting down having coffee. He sits down with the Swiss guards and has tea and coffee.
And learning how to relate to people with all these personalities. Case in point, quick anecdote. When Alice died, her son was a Marist priest, now deceased himself, and at the funeral in Riverton, New Jersey, he began the homily for his mother's funeral with these words. I'll never forget them. There was a commotion in the Greenbrier nursing home on Thursday when Alice, Mom, died. But it was nothing compared to the commotion when Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John said to the Lord, "Alice is here." First time I ever laughed at a funeral. We were in hysterics because we knew the caliber of the woman that I dubbed Mother Earth. I call
That's
her Mother Earth.
great.
It was lovely.
That's great.
Good times.
This has been Father Louis Skirter with my classmate and roommate from Seton Hall University, Father Bob Schecker, from the diocese now you're in is
I'm retired,
Right.
priest of the Diocese of Trenton.
at Trenton. And we'll come back with subsequent interviews, continuing this one, part 2. Thank you for joining us, and pass this on to your family and friends. If you'd like to contact me, it's fatherlouskirty@hotmail.com. Hold on one second. Would you like to put your email up here? It's up to you. If
No.
No. Okay. If you want to
I'm
say,
retired.
if you want to say something to Bob, you got to come through me. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back. Celebrating 45 years of ministry, the class of 1971 and others sing the Regina Celli as they close their celebration of Holy Mass.